You've heard the whispers, revenge is a dish best served cold. But for Sigma males it's not just cold, it's a glacial masterpiece, sculpted in silence and delivered with the precision of a sniper's bullet. They don't roar their intentions or beg for retribution. They craft it in the shadows where the world's noise can't touch them. By the time you sense the shift, their quiet vengeance has already rewritten your reality. Welcome to the Sigma male community, the sanctuary for men who don't chase validation or grovel for respect, because they command it through sheer presence. Today we're diving deep into the art of the Sigma male's revenge, a subtle, devastating force that strikes without warning and leaves no trace. This isn't about petty tantrums or loud declarations. It's about power wielded with icy control, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. In this video we'll unpack 11 ways Sigma males turn betrayal into their battlefield, showing you how to harness this mindset and rise above the chaos. Buckle up because this is going to hit hard, and if you're truly one of us you'll feel it in your bones. 1. The ice vein, emotional zero point. Sigmas operate at absolute emotional zero, a state where rage doesn't simmer, it crystallizes into something far more dangerous: focus. When someone stabs them in the back, they don't flinch or lash out. They step into a mental deep freeze, where every chaotic emotion is distilled into a single, unbreakable purpose. This isn't about shutting down, it's about sharpening up, turning the heat of anger into the cold steel of strategy. While the world drowns in impulsive outbursts, the Sigma's mind becomes a silent void, a place where revenge is forged without a flicker of detectable heat. Picture a man betrayed by a friend who's spread lies to tarnish his name. The average guy might storm in, fists clenched, demanding answers. Not the Sigma. He sits back, lets the sting pass through him and watches it fade into nothingness. He knows that emotions are a trap, fuel for fools who burn out fast. Instead, he leans on the stoic truth that the only thing he controls is himself. That betrayal? It's just data now, a variable to dissect with surgical calm. In this icy state, the Sigma sees everything: the betrayer's motives, their weaknesses, the cracks in their armor. He doesn't need to shout or threaten. His silence is the weapon. He starts planning not out of spite but out of principle. Revenge here isn't about petty payback. It's about restoring order, about proving that no one can shake his foundation and walk away unscathed. The beauty? It's untraceable. No one sees the gears turning until the machine's already crushed them. This is the ice vein, brothers, a place of total self-mastery where the Sigma turns pain into power. It's not about feeling nothing, it's about feeling everything and choosing what matters. When he strikes, it's not a scream, it's a whisper that echoes louder than any yell. Stay with us at the Sigma male community, because this is just the beginning of how we thrive in a world that underestimates us. 2. The ghost strike, invisible retribution. Forget the Hollywood showdowns. Sigma males don't need a stage to settle scores. Their revenge slips through the cracks of your awareness, a phantom move that unravels your life before you even clock it. One day you're riding high, the next your job's gone, your crew's turned, or your dirty laundry's flapping in the wind, and there's no one to point at. They don't grab revenge by the throat. They set up the dominoes in the dark and let the final click wake you up. Imagine a Sigma sidelined by a scheming coworker who takes credit for his work. He doesn't storm the boss's office or start a shouting match. He watches, silent as a specter, noting every move that coworker makes, who they kiss up to, what they overlook, where they're sloppy. Then with the lightest touch, he shifts the game. A quiet word to a key player, a leaked hint about a missed deadline. By the time the coworker's world starts crumbling, the Sigma's already 3 steps ahead, untouched. This is where stoic wisdom shines, focusing only on what's in your grasp. The Sigma doesn't waste energy on loud battles he can't win outright. He knows that real power lies in subtlety, in nudging the pieces so you trip over your own feet. It's not about being seen, it's about being felt when it's too late to fight back. That coworker never connects the dots. How could they? There's no trail, just consequences. The ghost strike is pure Sigma, invisible, inevitable, and indifferent to your panic. It's revenge that doesn't need applause because the Sigma's already moved on while you're still picking up the pieces. Stick around because the Sigma male community is your playbook for mastering this kind of untouchable strength, quiet, lethal, and yours to claim. 3. CHRONOS strategy, time bomb revenge. Sigmas turn patience into a weapon of mass destruction. They don't rush to even the score. They plant seeds that sprout into chaos long after you've forgotten the fight. While you're busy gloating over your victory, they're fine-tuning a slow-burn payback that hits like a freight train months or years down the line. It's not delayed revenge. It's a masterpiece maturing in the shadows, ready to detonate when you least expect it. Think of a Sigma passed over for a promotion by a loudmouth who played dirty. He doesn't sulk or sabotage in the heat of the moment. He nods, steps back, and lets time do the heavy lifting. He builds his skills, stacks his wins, and waits for the loudmouth to overplay their hand, because they always do. Months later, when their incompetence implodes, the Sigma's there, polished and ready, stepping into the spotlight they thought they'd stolen. Stoic philosophy fuels this approach, accepting that life unfolds on its own clock. The Sigma knows that rushing is for the weak, that true power lies in enduring the wait without losing focus. He's not sitting idle. He's calibrating, watching your every move, letting your own arrogance ripen into the perfect trap. When the bomb goes off, a lost deal, a shattered reputation, you won't even remember the seed he planted. This CHRONOS strategy is why Sigmas win wars others don't even know are being fought. It's about outlasting, outsmarting, and outshining without breaking a sweat. The Sigma male community is here to show you how to play the long game, because real revenge isn't quick, it's eternal. For human chess, mastery of pressure points. Sigmas don't just play the game, they rewrite the rules without you noticing. They don't manipulate like puppets on strings. They orchestrate your reality by pressing on your deepest fears, your unchecked pride, your fragile crutches. A withheld nod of approval, a truth slipped to the right rival. It's so subtle you think you chose your own ruin. They tilt the board and you don't see it until you've already lost. Take a Sigma facing an ego-driven adversary who thrives on flattery. He doesn't clash head-on or call them out. He studies them, what makes them tick, what keeps them up at night, what they can't live without. Then, with the precision of a grandmaster, he moves. A silence where praise used to be, a casual remark that stokes their paranoia. Soon, that adversary's scrambling, making desperate moves that sink them deeper, all while the Sigma watches from the sidelines. This is stoic brilliance at work. Knowing that people are slaves to their own impulses. The Sigma doesn't need to force your hand. He just amplifies what's already there, letting your flaws do the dirty work. It's not about deceit. It's about discernment, about seeing the board for what it is and playing it better than you ever could. You'll swear it was your decision, never spotting the invisible hand that guided it. Human chess is the Sigma's domain, a battlefield where intellect trumps emotion every time. It's revenge that feels like fate, delivered with a calm that chills the soul. The Sigma male community is your guide to mastering this, because real power isn't loud, it's surgical. 5. Resource reclamation, the silent tax. Cross a Sigma and they don't come for your pride, they take back what you stole from them. If you snatch their peace, they vanish from your orbit. If you broke their trust, they shred your sway over them. This isn't about spite. It's about recalibrating the scales with a cold, clean cut that leaves you grasping at what you once took for granted. Imagine a Sigma who's been drained by a leech of a friend, always demanding, never giving. He doesn't blow up or beg for change. One day he's just gone. No calls returned, no favors granted, no presence to lean on. That friend scrambles, realizing too late how much they needed him, but the Sigma's already reclaimed his energy, redirecting it to what actually matters. Stoic wisdom drives this, detachment from what doesn't serve you. The Sigma knows his worth isn't tied to your approval, so when you overstep, he doesn't punish, he protects. It's a silent tax, a withdrawal so smooth you don't feel it until the void hits. He's not here to make you bleed. He's here to stop bleeding for you. This is resource reclamation, a Sigma's way of saying, you don't get to take from me and walk free. It's revenge through absence, a lesson in value you'll never forget. The Sigma male community is your anchor for living this truth, because your energy is your empire, and no one breaches its walls without paying a price. 6. Information sanctuary, data as a deadly weapon. Sigmas turn silence into a blade and knowledge into ammunition. They keep their own cards locked tight while collecting every scrap you let slip, your habits, your slip-ups, your unguarded rants. When they move, it's with the precision of a sniper, hitting a weak spot you didn't even know you'd exposed. Their power isn't in hiding, it's in reflecting your own carelessness back at you with deadly force. Picture a Sigma in a tense rivalry. He doesn't overshare or posture, he listens. Every boast you make, every complaint you drop, he files it away. Months later, when you're riding high, he lets a single piece of that intel loose. A flaw you bragged about, now in the wrong hands. Your house of cards collapses and he's nowhere near the wreckage. Stoic clarity fuels this, valuing knowledge over noise. The Sigma knows that in a world obsessed with spilling secrets, the real edge lies in restraint. He doesn't need to dig for dirt. You hand it to him, too busy talking to see the trap. When he uses it, it's not a wild swing, it's a calculated shot that leaves you wondering how he knew. The information sanctuary is a Sigma's fortress, silent about himself, deafening about you. It's revenge that doesn't need a fist, just a fact. Stay locked in with the Sigma male community, because this is how we turn the game's chaos into our quiet victory. 7. The unspoken ultimatum. Boundaries enforced in absence. Sigmas don't waste breath on threats or haggle over respect. They enforce it with action. Step over their line and you're not warned, you're erased. No arguments, no second chances. Just a sudden, total cutoff that leaves you staring at a locked door. The message isn't spoken. It's carved into the silence where you used to stand. Think of a Sigma dealing with a disrespectful ally. He doesn't lecture or plead, he walks. Texts go unanswered, plans dissolve, and that ally's left in a void, grasping at a connection that's already ash. They thought they could push. Now they're learning the hard way that Sigma boundaries aren't negotiable, they're absolute. This is stoic discipline in motion, controlling what you can and letting go of the rest. The Sigma doesn't need your approval to know his worth, so when you test him, he doesn't bend, he breaks contact. It's not about cruelty, it's about clarity. You feel the ultimatum not in words but in the weight of his absence. The unspoken ultimatum is a Sigma's line in the sand. Cross it and you're history. It's revenge through removal, a power so final it haunts. The Sigma male community is here to teach you this strength, because real men don't beg for respect, they command it. 8. Karmic engineering, fate with fingerprints. Sigmas don't orchestrate your collapse, they set the stage and let you star in it. A well-placed truth, a timely step back, and your own cracks widen into chasms. They don't need to push, they just stop propping you up and your flaws finish the job. It's so seamless you'll swear it was fate, not their hand, that brought you down. Consider a Sigma propping up a shaky partner who turns on him. He doesn't retaliate with fire, he pulls back the support. A quiet exit from a shared project, a subtle nudge to the right ear, and suddenly that partner's scrambling as their own mess catches up. The Sigma didn't strike, he just let gravity take over. Stoic acceptance guides this, letting life unfold as it will. The Sigma knows that people carry the seeds of their own ruin, he just waters them at the right time. It's not about vengeance, it's about justice served cold and clean. You'll never pin it on him because all he did was let you be you. Karmic engineering is the Sigma's art of consequence, revenge that feels like destiny. It's a reminder that real power isn't in force but in finesse. The Sigma male community is your compass for wielding this, because the best wins don't need a fight. 9. The black hole response, absorbing attacks. Sigmas turn attacks into nothing. Insults, lies, taunts all vanish into their stillness. They don't flinch or fire back, they let your words fall into a void, leaving you swinging at air. The lack of reaction isn't weakness, it's a psychological cage that traps you in your own frustration. Their calm becomes your chaos. Imagine a Sigma facing a public jab from a loudmouth. He doesn't bite or defend, he stands there unshaken, eyes steady. The loudmouth doubles down, but the silence grows heavier, and soon they're the ones sweating, unraveling under the weight of their own noise. The crowd sees it, the Sigma's not rattled, he's untouchable. Stoic resilience powers this, indifference to what's beyond control. The Sigma knows that reacting gives you power, so he denies you the fight. Your aggression feeds on itself, burning out while he stays steady. It's not about dodging, it's about devouring your energy without lifting a finger. The black hole response is Sigma strength distilled, absorbing blows until you're the one broken. It's revenge through presence, a quiet dominance that lingers. The Sigma male community is your forge for this, because real men don't crack, they conquer. 10. Sovereignty Manifesto, success as the ultimate silencer. The Sigma's ultimate revenge isn't a blow, it's a life so unbreakable you're irrelevant. While you stew in your petty wins, they're stacking victories, turning your knife in their back into fuel for their rise. They don't need to hate you, they just need to outgrow you. Success becomes their silence, drowning out your noise. Think of a Sigma cheated by a business partner. He doesn't sue or slander, he builds. He grinds, innovates, and climbs until his empire overshadows the betrayal. Years later, that partner's still clawing for scraps while he's untouchable, a king who turned their treason into his throne. Stoic wisdom anchors this: living well is the best response. The Sigma doesn't waste time on grudges. He invested in himself, knowing that results speak louder than revenge ever could. You're not a threat, you're a footnote, a shadow shrinking as he steps into the light. The Sovereignty Manifesto is the Sigma's final checkmate, a life that renders you powerless without a word. It's the kind of strength we champion at the Sigma male community, because true revenge isn't about settling scores, it's about setting standards you'll never meet. 11. The final word: irreversible exit. When a Sigma shuts you out, it's not a pause, it's a guillotine. No warnings, no retries, just a door slammed shut with the finality of a vault. You're not banished, you're erased, a memory he's already burned. This isn't petty, it's permanent, a line that chaos lovers dread crossing. Picture a Sigma fed up with a chronic backstabber. He doesn't negotiate or forgive again, he's done. One day you're in his circle, the next you're a ghost, calls ignored, ties severed. They beg for a crack in the wall, but it's welded shut, because the Sigma doesn't gamble on respect twice. Stoic resolve drives this, accepting what's done and moving on. The Sigma knows that clinging to dead weight is weakness, so he cuts it clean. It's not about anger, it's about peace, a boundary so firm it echoes. You're not worth the fight, you're just not worth anything anymore. The final word is the Sigma's signature, an exit that ends the story. It's revenge through finality, a power that leaves no room for doubt. The Sigma male community is your home for this, because when we walk away we don't look back. You've just cracked the code to the Sigma male's quiet revenge, a playbook of patience, precision, and unshakable will. This isn't about flexing or fuming, it's about standing so tall that the world bends to your shadow. Every point we've laid out is a weapon in your arsenal, forged in the stoic fire of self-mastery and resilience. The Sigma male community isn't just a channel, it's a brotherhood for men who refuse to bow, who turn betrayal into fuel and silence into thunder. Take this knowledge and wield it. Reclaim your power, redraw your lines, and rise above the noise. Don't just hear this, live it. Reflect on where you've let weakness slip in, then burn it out with action. If this hit you hard, smash that like button, drop a comment with your takeaways, and share it with a man who needs to wake up. If you're subscribed, turn on notifications, because every video here is a step toward your sovereignty. We're building an army of quiet kings, and you're part of it. Until next time, stay sharp, stay sovereign, and keep moving. The world's watching, even if it doesn't know it yet.